TAC Healthcare, as part of the independent sector, supports the NHS by helping to optimise waiting list management, helping work through those patients that need a diagnosis sooner, and they're able to do that in the community closer to the patient's home. And they're able to do that because of the partnerships that they form. It's key to us at PENTAX Medical that we're not just a supplier, but a valued partner in everything we do, whether that's the independent sector or with the NHS. So when we got the opportunity to become involved in this project, we were able to help ensure that the facility was designed, floor plan and layout for optimal patient flow, but also operational flow.
Kit's obviously absolutely critical to being able to provide a good service, and we've found that working with PENTAX has been extremely beneficial in that regard, both in terms of the actual hardware that we've been able to use, but also working with the team that has advised us, helped us continuously, and provide an excellent aftercare service as well.
This facility uses the PENTAX Medical Smarter Colonoscopy, and that's a combination of technologies that helps ensure that the adenoma detection rate can be as high as possible and the miss rate as low as possible. Hopefully, that results in far fewer post-colonoscopy colorectal cancers.
The scopes themselves are very important, and the scopes give us excellent visual acuity.
The inclusion of eye scan in the Smarter Colonoscopy allows the endoscopist to identify more lesions, to characterise them, and to give a far more accurate diagnosis there and then.
We now have a digital image which can be interrogated in a variety of different ways, and the eye scan function on the scope allows us to look for blood vessel patterns, blood flow in the polyps or lesions that we see, and gives us far more information than we were ever able to take before.
As part of the Smarter Colonoscopy, we have the GI balloon scope, and that allows the endoscopist to see more by smoothing out those folds in the bowel.
The scopes handle extremely well, but the addition of the balloon on the GI system allows us to anchor the scope if we want to, or to control withdrawal of the scope. Now that becomes very important because most of the information we get is when we withdraw the scope. And if it is done in an uncontrolled fashion, we might miss lesions that are of importance later on. By blowing up the balloon and doing it in a controlled way, that certainly improves the detection of small polyps.
We then have the Discovery Artificial Intelligence, and that's like having a very alert assistant, just making sure that you've seen everything, especially those sort of smaller, diminutive lesions that may potentially be overlooked.
The AI discovery system will highlight to the endoscopist any lesions that are in the bowel.
The way technology has advanced is, rather than a number of years ago having to take the biopsies and the vision not being clear and having to wait on results coming back, we can actually diagnose on the day, and consultants are able to use that technology to do that. So it's a quicker diagnosis for a patient. They don't have that length of time that they're waiting for results. We've got the ability to have those discussions with patients in private, quiet areas with the consultant. So they come in, they can be diagnosed, and they can go home the same day in many, many cases. The patients that come into the community centre setting in the independent sector are always very appreciative, and it's really, really nice to be achieving that and to be getting that feedback from them.
This building actually achieved a carbon negative EPC rating, which is an A+, achieving a minus 2.3 kilograms per metre squared across the building full operant. To do that, we've installed heat pumps, energy efficient water heaters, and also a 13.8 kilowatt peak system solar array onto the roof of the module. So the patient flow has been improved by making it easy for the clinical staff to use the facility. To do that, we work closely with TAC and PENTAX.
The combination of technology and people, I think that is the critical thing. Having scopes that give us great views, that have the ability to interrogate it with the eye scan and get all this extra information. Having the AI system that highlights lesions, having the balloon that allows us a more controlled release, all add up to giving you the best possible chances of detecting precancerous and important lesions. Putting it all together and knowing that each bit is a little bit better gives you ultimately the very best.
At PENTAX, we're really focused on being a valued partner, and that means that the people of PENTAX, along with our innovative technologies, can be combined to ensure that the optimal outcome is achieved from using those technologies. So working with Ken and with Actiform, we've been able to be part of the development of the world's first carbon-negative endoscopy unit, and we see that as being something that's going to expand across the country. Ken's involved in a number of areas across the UK that we hope to support him with and deliver the same clinical and operational outcomes. We envisage a good future working with Ken and TAC Healthcare, bringing sustainability to endoscopy across the UK.